All right, so I wanted to do something right quick before we start. So I want y'all to check y'all phones right quick.
I need to find my phone first.
Oh, wow. Hold up.
What's happening here?
Wait till you see this, Russ. Man. So
Yeah.
Look at this man.
yeah, exactly.
Holy cow.
So I can't remember what year. I think it was 07.
This guy, both you guys,
Yeah,
dude.
it was 07 or 08. And I don't know how I stumbled upon it. It was on my Facebook page, and and you know, I was just going through some pictures. It was just randomly like popped up with the pictures I was, you know, looking at, and I was like, wow, I forgot I had it. So, you know, I had to bring it out. It was 07, 08, man.
Yeah.
It's been that long, man. Like,
No
This
beard.
is an incredible.
That's your brother, right? Is that your brother?
no, that's Soldier, DJ Soldier.
Okay.
Ronnie, from
Ronnie.
Fort Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
it was what's the name of that spot? Deja Vu.
Yeah.
Up in Bentonville. So we're gonna put the picture up. You know, when they get to the end the podcast episode, they're gonna put the picture up.
No,
So,
I'm going to put it up right now.
yeah, they're gonna put it up right now.
Y'all
As a matter
have
of
no
fact.
idea what you're about to see from Rod Mixed-Tin.
This guy had to
Thomas,
put
dude.
me on blast with the no beard and the Virgin Records t-shirt.
Oh man, I
that's
had a Sean John outfit on. You know what I'm saying? I was a huge Sean John fan back
Dude,
then.
and that gold you're rocking right now is like, but
Yeah.
what's funny is that the same exact hat that you are wearing right
Nah, nah, close, but nah, man. I've been rocking these hats
that's
since
funny.
I was in 7th grade. I get that from my pops and my uncles, man, because they used to rock these types of hats, man, on the regular. You know what I'm saying?
That's so
And my grandfather. My grandfather used to rock these kind of hats, Kangos, to be
Kangos.
exact. You know what I'm talking about? And I remember whenever I borrowed my dad's hat in 7th grade. I was junior high. The day I rocked it to school, later on that day when we was getting out, somebody stole out my locker.
Oh,
What?
no.
Yeah, so I was scared to tell my pops that. For real,
That
for
sucks.
real. Yeah, I was like, man, wasn't no other kids rocking the same, that type of hat. They was
Yeah.
rocking like ball caps and stuff, man. And somebody stole the Kango.
Come on,
It's like,
my man.
I was supposed to be the different one, you know what I'm saying? I was the different one. I was the unique one. I wanted to be different than all the other, kids, back then in junior high. But I guess
Dang.
somebody wanted to be like me, I guess.
Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the Ozark Mix Podcast. Here are your hosts, Jonathan Ravel and Russ Collins.
Dude, I wanted to ask you, speaking of Deja Vu, do you remember some of the music we were playing back then? Like what was hot at the time?
07, 08. I want to say that I remember when Young Jock was out at the
Yeah.
time. I remember when we used to play like a lot of Atlanta stuff.
Yeah. T.I., like what you know about that kind of stuff.
all that stuff, man. And it was Atlanta was huge. Then we used to play Wipe Me Down because Louisiana was
Yeah.
a little bit popping back then too.
I still play Wipe Me Down.
Wipe Me Down,
Me too,
that's a
me too.
staple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rod introduced me to that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some of the top 40 stuff that was. I remember Black Eyed Peas was very hot back
They were
then
popping
too,
then.
and Flo Rida was just getting his start around that time too. I remember all that 126, 127 BPM stuff back
Yeah.
then. You know what I'm saying? So that's when like the Vegas stuff started to happen. In the music. Like I remember when a lot of spots were trying to be like the Vegas clubs, around that time too, man. So we was playing a lot of the EDM stuff. It was starting to bubble a lot, especially in down here. What's the name of that spot off of Dixon? I forgot the name of it, but we used, man. Well, you had moved to Dallas around that time.
Was it? It wasn't Dixon Theater, Dixon Street Theater.
No,
Okay.
that's too hood. That's too hood, man. That's too hood. It was right across from Dixon Theater. I forgot the name.
There used to be a spot called Lit, I think, or something.
Lit was.
Do you remember they tried to do like bottle service for like a bottle of Grey Goose? I think was $75. I got there one time.
I think that was the spot right across from the Dixon Theater.
Yeah.
And
Where was the Dixon
man,
Theater? What are you talking about? I have no idea what we're talking about.
So you know where if you drive down Dixon Street, you see the basketball court on the left.
right? Oh yeah, they tore it down.
They tore it down. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. So
so that place, that spot.
that was the hood spot on Dixon.
See, I didn't know.
Dude, it's
Unfortunately.
right in the middle too.
Yeah, it used
Yeah.
to be like the only 18 and up spot, and
Yep.
they had DJs, and it would go pretty
They
hard.
really didn't have any DJs up in there, man. I was
Yeah.
trying to be one of those DJs that actually mix and everything like that.
Yeah.
Not just, going all over the place, but they didn't want that. They didn't want that.
They wanted that EDM vibe. They wanted that just crazy rave kind of stuff.
No,
Or-
not
Oh, it was just
not.
too-
They just too hood. I'm talking about like street stuff,
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
like. Oh man, it was. you can seriously get into so much trouble
Oh my goodness.
up in there, and
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't hang around that spot too much. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I would like to ask that though, because I hear you guys talk about this kind of stuff, which obviously I have no idea what we're talking about. But in that case, like as a DJ, do you know that there's trouble happening and you're either trying to get out of it so you're gonna play stuff to calm it all down, or are you like, nah, I'm a light this fire? Like, what are you trying to do in that case?
I tend to try and keep it calm. I mean, and like stuff will break out at the most random time when you could be playing, chill or, like even EDM. Some drunk dude like bumps into the wrong person and then they're going. And it's really more up to like security or bouncers to handle it. And you don't want to let everybody else in the room know something's going on and like kill the vibe. But typically, once we get to the end of the night, like if it's a nightclub and everyone's drinking, I try to chill it out a little bit the last 3 or 4 songs. And maybe this is not for everybody because some club owners will want you to keep that energy high all the way till the end and just bang it out, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll throw like some Marvin Gaye at the end,
Just be like
like
soul.
let's get it on. That's one of my go-tos, or like some Bob Marley, stuff like that. And people just kind of chill out.
Yeah, believe it or not, man, somebody actually got into a fight while I was playing a slow jam. It happened, man. I mean, you people just weird, man. And just put it like that. But yeah, I tried to, like not let that happen.
Right.
But when some people too drunk, man, like I said, man, a fight broke out whenever I was playing a slow jam. So yeah, you can try your best to prevent to happen, but if it's like too crazy, even you playing like slow jams, you still might have a fight.
I just find it so fascinating that you guys are talking about stuff that was almost 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all go back a long way, man.
And then there'll be like some certain venues where if you play a song, like they'll have it on a do not play list and they won't book you anymore.
Really?
Like Nuck If You Buck was a big one that like would cause big fights and stuff. And they're like, if you play this, you're
We're
not
out.
gonna get booked. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Lil Jon early stuff, man, would get it too crunk up
Yeah.
in there. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what they came there for, just to hear stuff like that, in certain spots. But yeah, then the dress code started happening at some of these establishments too, man, which
Yeah.
I was not a huge fan of because I mean, I didn't dress in like jerseys all the time,
Right.
but you know, I just wanted to, you know, be comfortable wherever I was going. You know, I just wanted to wear what I wanted to wear, but
Right.
you know, but still, you know, you can't. I just felt like when you limit, you know, the dress code, you know, you probably wouldn't get into business like that. And
Yeah.
that's the thought I had at the time. That man, you're not gonna get into business if you throw these dress codes in,
Right.
because they're gonna go to another establishment that's gonna allow that, and they're gonna get a lot of business there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I felt, you know, with that.
Well, to me, that makes total sense. I mean, yeah, that's crazy, man. What a world we live in.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. Well, speaking of all the crazy ruckusness, we've talked about this some, and we wanted Rod to talk about this. But what's funny about that photo is Rod looks nothing like that photo that we showed
Yeah.
anymore. Your boy is just I personally I am just like shocked.
I
at
was a big
seeing
boy
that.
back then, man. Look, think of it, man. I remember back then I would weigh like between 250 pounds, 270.
Oh my
Probably
gosh.
weighed up to like 300, you know, at the
Wow.
time. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
I can't believe that. Even when I met Rod 3 years ago, like he looks nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you've just like gone on this journey of you're like drinking from the fountain of youth, man. And I know you've changed a bunch of habits, and I know you've talked to us about it. And so we just thought it'd be really cool because I know a lot of DJs and Rev, I want you to just speak into a lot of this too, man, is like a lot of DJs struggle with keeping up, and the hours are wild. They're crazy. I don't know. I was watching a couple of months ago on a social media post, and it was one of those DJs be like kind of posts, and it was these two guys. They walk into the hotel room, and it's like DJs be like, they fall under the bed and they fall asleep, and then 2 seconds later their alarm goes off and they have to get up and go again.
Yeah.
But you know, I know that lifestyle is there, and it's easy to want to keep partying and ingest so many things into your body that aren't great. And so Rod's obviously figured it out. So, man, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I have to say that it started like 22 years ago. Like I have a family history of type 2 diabetes, like a lot of health issues within both sides of my family.
Sure.
And 22 years ago, I went to the doctor because I was, you know, just something was like wrong with me because I happened to go to the restroom every 30 minutes or something like that. Just thought that was odd. And I went to the doctor, and the doc told me I was a type 2 diabetic. And I just, you know, I was scared at first, but you know, he just told me I just had to take like, you know, pills, you know, to control the my blood sugar and stuff like that. And, you know, I just thought about limitation, which, you know, you are limited to what you eat and consume. But I was hard-headed. I was still young, you know, and everything like that. And it got to a point where I went to the hospital, stay overnight because my blood sugar was like super high. I could have like fell into a coma or something like that.
Dude.
That's how bad it was back then. But living the DJ lifestyle, I was still, whenever I was doing a bar or club, you know, have drinks and stuff. You know, just trying to blend in, you know, basically trying to fit in with, you know, the atmosphere. It was fun on most nights. Sometimes I was kind of surprised at myself how I was able to maintain DJing, with consuming all those drinks. Like we had drinks like the Incredible Hulk, which was it was Hennessy and Hypnotic.
Oh my
mixed
gosh.
together.
That sounds like a perfect combination for staying awake.
So
Oh my
like going back to like 96 when Tupac came out with Thug Passion, that was at the time it was I want to say it was it was Hennessy and Alizé. Hennessy and Alizé. Thug Passion, that's what Pac created.
Oh my
came up with at the time. 96 now. But see, I wasn't really, into it like that.
Were you supposed to be drinking at 96?
I wasn't drinking at 96.
I don't think you were.
Let me
We're the
stop.
same age.
Let me stop lying because I had homies that would, buy 40s and stuff, and I used to drink 40s with them and all that.
I'm just messing
But
with you, man.
but yeah, man. With all that drinking, and I was still smoking cigarettes at the time, man, I just didn't care. I wanted to live like everybody else was living. And then, it takes something happen for people to learn. And you get older and you start noticing different things happening to you.
Right.
And everything like that. And it's like, man, I really need to stop smoking. And I cut down the drinking some too. But I knew if I wanted to live a longer life, I need to, cut down or stop doing it altogether. My father passed away when he was before he turned 50.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he went through a lot during his time here. So I was always about breaking that generational curse. I just, I was in the Navy too. And Navy, being in the military is really big on being fit, physical activity, training and all that. I mean, you have to be in that way in order to, if you go to war, you know what I'm saying, you got to
be ready.
Yeah, you gotta be ready, man. So I did not like running at all whenever I was in the Navy. But
So wait, was that photo pre-Navy or post-Navy?
that was post.
Okay, so
That
after
was-
the Navy.
Yeah. So I was in the Navy from 96 to 2000.
Okay.
I moved here in 2002.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Met Rev, it had to have been like 06, 07, whenever Deja Vu opened up. Or the
Yeah.
Ice House.
Yeah.
That was, okay, so going back to that, Ice House was the spot to go to before you went to Deja Vu on Thursdays.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The ice house that's closed now.
Yeah, it's closed
the
now.
seafood place.
No, it
Party
wasn't
on
a seafood
Oh, no,
place.
it was Benville, the ice
Yeah,
house.
it was-
up there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It
Ice
was
House
like an
in-
event
Yeah,
space.
Okay,
Mhm.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was like 06 around 07 around
Okay.
that time. So that used to closed up around 11. And then we used to go to Deja Vu and that stay open to like 1:30. It was something like that. And yeah, crazy times, man. But getting back to, the health thing, I was working at Samaritan Community Center for a few years, and a couple of my coworkers were runners, and they ended up talking me into doing Bentonville Half Marathon, and this was like right when I turned 40.
Okay.
So I was thinking to myself at the time, it's like, okay, I'm about to turn 40. I need to do something like significant, So I agreed to do it, even though I was like wasn't a huge fan of running. You know what I'm saying? I was in the gym like 2 or 3 times a week, lifting weights and stuff like that. I had muscle and stuff like that. I wasn't like scrawny or anything like that. But I figured, I'll give it a shot. They had the training program and everything like that. And man, it was a struggle. Struggle, man. Let me tell you, I was like, running 2 miles, 3 miles. At times I just wanted to quit. But you have that program and you have people like professional runners there to cheer you on and everything like that. And I just kept doing it. And around the same time, 75 Hard program came out, put together, created by Andy Frisella. Shout out to First Forum.
There you go.
I've been a fan of First Forum like 3 years before I decided to do the first half marathon and stuff. Because, I was just looking for like a lot of inspiration at the time because of, being single, just got out of a divorce and basically, living from, place to place and stuff like that, crashing on people's couches, basically. It goes deeper, y'all. For real. I came a long way, thank God, man. For real. Yeah, that, going through all the personal stuff, getting through the first half marathon and making my son proud. He's like a huge inspiration through it all, man. And I knew that I wanted him to not go in the wrong path.
Yeah.
Like I went into, and his grandfather went into, you know what I'm saying? So he's a big inspiration for a lot of, me getting into this health journey I'm in. Being a type 2 diabetic, it's, I try not to think about it a lot. But that led to me taking medicine for blood pressure, cholesterol, and and all that stuff led to me, having depression and anxiety for a while. So it was a point in my life where I would stay in my bedroom all day and not leave it. Mm. That's how serious depression is. And I would hear stories about it every now and then, but then when I went through it, I was like, I couldn't believe I was like in that state, of just staying in my room a whole day without. This was like during like holidays too.
Sure.
At times I couldn't go to Memphis to be with my family, but I learned to work my way through it. I consume a lot of inspirational stuff, self development, personal development stuff. Started following a lot of entrepreneurs and motivation speakers and stuff like that, and start doing the work and stay at it. So I won't slip back into that depression state or have anxiety. I still have a little anxiety, especially when it comes to before doing the gig and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's normal for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. But with me working out damn near 5-6 times a week,
dude, and it's like a consistency for you.
Yeah, I mean that's what they preach to you: consistency.
Right.
You keep doing it, and you just stay on top of not just stay on top of your workouts and everything. Stay on top of everything in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
how has that change and that build up consistency, like, for lack of a better term, it's like produced fruit in your life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's it done for you?
Well, going back to 5 years ago, whenever I did my first half marathon, there were times where, I felt like I needed, something that I really didn't need. It might not make sense, but let's just say that it helped me get my wife, Teresa. We was together. The first time we was together for 8 years. I lost her due to being consumed by, the worldly stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everything started crashing down. And then once I started to figure things out and got into this health journey and everything, and my health journey led to me being a better man. It led me back to Teresa.
Sure. And she's a good woman.
She's a damn good woman, man.
And she takes nothing from nobody.
You would think so.
Especially you.
I mean, people would think that, man, but
no, she's incredible. She is one of the sweetest people I know. And
yeah, man, and I owe her a lot, man. She helped me get through a lot of stuff. For her to be back in my life like that, I knew that I didn't being young and dumb, man. You don't realize what you have until you lose it.
Yeah,
and it took a while. I knew I had to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that she would find somebody like really, that was good for her. But all along, it was me that had to be the one that she needed.
Mm-hmm.
Not only wanted, but needed. So, yeah, man, that really kept me going. It helped. It helped to keep me going. Let's just put it like it helped to keep me going.
That's awesome, dude.
It's like, you always gonna be learning, and you're always a work in progress.
Oh, yeah.
Always a work in progress, no doubt. 45 years old now, and I was at my healthiest 5 years ago. Again, I was at my healthiest 5 years ago. And like I'm getting back into that right now,
right.
And it's translating into what all this. Right, I'm sitting in front of 4 cameras right now, being all professional and stuff, and man, it's been a blessing, man, for real.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're alive, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
The
glad
world
to be
is a
here
better
too,
place
man.
with Rodney Thomas.
Yeah. And your story's inspiring, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for doing all that and changing it, because when I knew you, you were a big dude. And we talked about that, but looking at you now, I don't know if I'd recognize you like if we just, passed each other in the street compared to that long time ago.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me happy that y'all are also inspired too, man, because we're a team, and I want to see everyone that I work with, that I'm close with, to win too. Like, you want me to win in one area, you want me to win in one area. I want y'all to win in the area of being healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it really, another thing that keeps me going whenever somebody posts a comment under one of my posts saying that they inspired by my post.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my purpose. That's like one of my, I think if it's not, the purpose, is one of my purpose. Absolutely. Of why I do what I'm doing right now. And it connects the dots in your life too. It keeps everything sharpened, especially with when it comes to DJing. It keeps me on my, having these mix shows that I do every week. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me informed of what's going on. With music, what's hot, what's not, what I think is hot, to give out to the world. Whenever I, come up on something that, with the files I get weekly, go through them and see what I think that should be out here, what I think people should like. There's some stuff that people are already hip to, but you have to present to them in a different way. So with that, like connecting the dots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
DJing, health, just life in general, period. You know
I
what
love
I'm saying?
that, dude. Man, that's good stuff.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
you went through stuff I've been through, man. You tend to have a lot to say. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's good.
Well, I know you've lived a lot of life, and I know we all kind of consume different podcasts or whatever by DJs, and there seems to be like even just like a trend, I would say, of DJs looking at their life and just being like, man, something's got to change.
Yeah.
Like I know that's part of your story, Rev. Like, it's like, man, I don't know how long I'll live if I can keep doing this, Like,
Well, when you get sucked into a world where the main moneymaker for a business is alcohol sales and everybody's on that level of drinking and taking shots and partying, and you're doing that 4 or 5 nights a week. And it might, like, sometimes I would be DJing like a Friday night, go home pretty plastered, crash out, have to have a gig like in the daytime at noon the next day, wake up, not have any food at all, and then start taking shots right away. And it was just like, you can't do that very long. So I had to pull the eject cord and get out of that scenario. And it's still a thing, Sometimes I feel like when I'm DJing that I DJ better when I'm a little buzzed or I have a couple shots, and that can go too far, especially when all your friends are like, let's take a shot. And like it all piles up, and you got to kind of know where your boundaries are. And yeah, it's cool to have a little bit, and loosen up, especially I've noticed like if you have to get on the mic or do stuff, I don't want to do it at all like normally, and it helps like loosen up a little bit. But that was
do you feel like that's your goal? Like, is just to be able to not consume
and it's
alcohol?
actually lately been a good challenge of, let me see, because I know how my brain works, and it's like, it's going to want me to do this certain thing or go to the bar and like just one drink to like ease it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to see if I can get comfortable with just sober and rock the crowd, get on the mic, sound confident, do all that stuff without the alcohol being involved. And like one thing I've been running into lately is like at Tin Roof, when I do this bar here locally, they're having us start at 8:30 and go till almost 2 a.m., which is like a 5.5 hour shift playing songs. That's a lot of music to go through, and you got to throw some bangers early to keep people interested. So I end up playing some stuff twice, and then I feel like everybody's reaching that peak, and I'm here just like sober, not really feeling it, getting bored because I've been here 4 hours already, and everybody's
like,
raging.
Somebody give me a shot.
Yeah, man. Like, and it's whatever. It's just a mental game you play with yourself. Like, those people out there are gonna have a great time no matter what, but you got to kind of save some of that peak time music for the right time, because a lot of DJs will kind of blow it early, and go through their stuff and then feel like they don't have anything to play. And that's kind of an issue.
So how are you combating it?
So if it's a big song, I'll play it twice. Like some DJs will get hated on if you play songs twice. I don't care. Like, I'll play it early at like 10 or 11, 10:30, 11, and then drop it again at 1:30, It's probably not, if those same people are there to hear it twice, they're still going to like it. But a lot of times there's new people in the crowd.
It's turned over.
Yeah. And then just having, one thing I did this past Saturday, there was like a mom's convention in town. I think it was like all the student moms or something.
Mom's Day at the
I was
university.
dropping like Paula Abdul and, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, like all that stuff to kind of get them going. And that was the first 2 hours of like 2000s pop music. So that kind of freed up my library to go into the more current stuff later. But you kind of
you had a busy weekend then. You had Friday night and Saturday. 'Cause you did a wedding on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's when it's
And
That's
then
when
I
it's
played
hard.
last night
So you've been busy.
till 1 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love weekends like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did one of those parties last year at George's, man, and it was packed out. And I did the exact same you did, man. Started playing like a lot of 2000 stuff, and the moms was like really into it and
Yeah.
everything. But I think, you know, as time was getting, you know, for them to, you know, leave and everything. You know, of course they went to all the other spots on Dixon, but yeah, that was a time. That was a time. As a matter of fact, it was one of the easiest gigs I ever done, though, because sometimes the easy gigs are the ones you already know what to expect. You just gotta go about doing it. Once you do it, and it's like time goes by fast too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
man, it was a good time.
One thing I did this past weekend is that wedding on Saturday, they wanted a lot of like 2000s music. They put in the notes, they're like, we're millennials. We don't want to have like the new stuff. We like the classics. So I was like, all right. And in my Serato, I organize everything by music genre for the most part. But then I have a crate down towards the bottom called Decades. And when you open that, I have, you know, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and it's every genre, but I'll just go on Google and type in top 2000s dance hits, and everything that pulls up,
That's what you
I
did.
put it in that 2000s folder, and then that way I can just go in there if they're liking that vibe and just go through BPM by BPM and mix everything, and it'll be like rock, pop, whatever, hip hop. That's the main stuff, but that's kind of what I've been doing to kind of have specific crates for those years.
Yeah. It seems to work too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for your organizational stuff, especially for private events or, I mean, anything like that, it's like, that's everything. So
Yeah.
just having it at the ready, being able to do it. Right. I wanted to ask you, like, so what are some just quick, small tips that you would give people to stay consistent? Like, going back to your health journey, like, what are some small things that you would say to people?
I would say just build up to love it. You know, that's what I had to do, especially with running. I just recently got back into running because I'm running a half marathon relay with one of my former coworkers / friends next month.
Yeah.
So running is hard, but it's therapeutic because, you know, it really helps me a lot, man. Y'all just don't know. It's hard, but man, it's awesome. It's hard, but awesome. I just like say build to love it. I'm trying to think of the saying, but it's just build to love it. Learn to you don't have to do it all at once, but learn to, you know, consume something like water like every day. Keep hydrated. Just focus on living a longer life. Having a life. Focus on you can be selfish by just getting up and working on yourself first thing in the morning, and then you can focus on the other stuff. You can focus on your family. You can focus on your work. You know, it really, you know, it helps when you do that first thing. I know a lot of people don't like getting up early, like I do. I get up 4 in the morning. I get
early riser
it's the military in me, man. It's the military in me. I get up 4 in the morning. Reason why I do that because it gives me a chance to, ease into, going to my workout or running. I don't have to rush into it. I can drink my 8 ounces of water when I get up. I can take my pre-workout to get it going for me. Then I'll be ready. And I'm telling you, you work out first thing in the morning, your day is gonna go by, not go by, but it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
Then you know. That's pretty much it. Some people just saying, I heard the other day, is like, I'm only here for a good time, not a long time. I'm here for a long time, damn it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here for a long time. So yeah, man. Gotta have that mindset of, want to be here for a long, long time.
Well, I mean, I like that because, I know certainly in entrepreneurship and life, you just have to have these small goals to hit, whether it's, Rev's going to be a new dad soon. So
Yep.
Man.
There's always this. I remember, when I started having children, it was just like, man, I better get it together.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's the game changer,
Yeah,
because you have some other life depending on you and you want to be around to watch all that.
Yeah. And I don't want Jamie raising kids on her own.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't want my wife to be a single parent. And so, yeah, I think what I'm hearing Rod say is just this, like, sometimes it's like putting small habit stacks. So it's like, I wake up early. So when I wake up early, then I do this. Then I do this. And all those things stack together for you to have an incredible, productive day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these small little things.
Yeah.
And I've never had a strong dependence on, say, substance like alcohol or drugs, but I can definitely say I was addicted to sugar, and eating bad and those sorts of things. And so in this last year, I was like, same thing. I was like, if I don't do something pretty quickly, Jamie's gonna be a single parent.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to add this too. I didn't mean to cut y'all off.
Yeah.
But I've learned not to eat late at night, especially after a gig. I used to hit up IHOP and get this one burger at like after 2 a.m. It was
You're
so
sharing
good.
secrets now, man.
I know, man. I know. But yeah, that's another thing I stopped doing is eating late at night, man, because it's not a good thing, especially with me being a diabetic, because my blood sugar be kind of high, and it wakes me up to go use the restroom and stuff like that. And it could keep you up, of course, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're eating something sweet or something with a lot of carbs. So I would also suggest not to eat anything late at night. If you are able to not drink any soda or something like that after, I say about 8 o'clock at night, then yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't consume anything like that super late.
Well, that was always my problem. Is we would get done at midnight. We'd load out 1 o'clock. I'm getting home. My entire family's asleep, and it's just me. And most of the time, it's a Saturday, especially in the fall, and I have refrained from watching the Hogs. And so then I'm going to go watch the game. And then it's like chips and salsa.
Yeah.
And, whatever was left over from the sugary desserts. And
Let me ask y'all about this. When you're DJing a wedding, do y'all eat the food? Because a lot of times they'll offer you dinner, and I always say, no, I don't want to eat during my set or whatever. I kind of personally feel it looks unprofessional to be up there like stuffing your face with whatever. So then I get done, I'm starving at like 10:30, 11. So I roll through Whataburger and smash the patty melt meal with some onion rings. That's my go-to.
That sounds good.
Right,
Yeah, I
which
know,
is
right?
like 1,700 calories.
Yeah, and then like it comes with this huge Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like
Or Dr. Pepper shake.
right. They offer that now, so I get sucked into that cycle. I want to know if y'all eat or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I don't typically eat at the, if I'm going to eat at the wedding, I'll usually eat at a table. I don't eat at the booth. I'll run I'll run 4 or 5 songs of a playlist or something. But typically I don't eat because I'll throw up. Like I just get nervous.
Yeah.
Like I can't eat and perform, so I won't do it. But I'm the same way, dude. When it's over, my body's physically just cramping because of the amount of adrenaline that has run through it. And I didn't do a good job of hydrating, like Rod said. So then my body's craving some sugar or salt. And I mean, my go-to is like, if I'm up in Bentonville, typically, you guys know I love the ballroom at I Street up there. So I'm there as much as possible. And there is a McDonald's right there on the corner.
No.
And now it's Slim's, which is just as bad. And they stay open late.
Yeah, they're drive-through.
And dude, I would hit McDonald's, and I don't even eat McDonald's. I don't even like McDonald's unless it's 1 a.m. in the morning and I can grab myself a double.
Sometimes a quarter pounder just hits.
Dude, I get a double quarter pounder.
No, I'm talking about that Coke.
Oh,
the Coca-Cola is the one that really hits.
So
you know what I'm
good.
talking about?
With the big straw.
That's oh yeah. And so I'm guzzling it down the freeway, dude. And I mean, well, and I was up to same with Rod like this last year. I mean, I weighed almost 250 pounds. I was on the wrong side of 240 for sure.
Yeah.
And so I took a look at my life and I was like, nah, this has got to change. So I went sort of kind of all in, cut all sugar out of my life. And dude, that's when I started really dropping weight. Like I think I've lost almost 40 pounds by now.
Wow. Nice.
But it's hard, dude. It's hard. You want.
It's always convenience. I'm tired. I don't want to cook at home, make something healthy. So like, what can I just grab?
Yeah. And I mean, I know every DJ struggles in this area.
Yeah.
Like they do.
But well, for me, I know whenever my blood sugar drops super low, I can feel it.
Yeah.
So I have no other choice but to, get something to eat or something to drink to bring my blood sugar back to a normal level. So that's one of the reasons why I, if they offer it to me, I would, if I know I have time to, I'll grab a bite to eat, but I won't grab too much. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna offer, myself to something
right if it's offered to you, you're gonna do it,
right. But for the most part, if my blood sugar is like really low, that's whenever I go get something to eat
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So because I work my tail off, you know what I'm saying, and whenever I work my tail off like that, it happens, you know what I'm saying, but that's what I do.
Well, here, I wanted to ask y'all this too. We're talking about the drive home after the wedding. What is your go-to like music? Do you even listen to music? Because you've been banging out for 2 or 3 hours at the wedding or any event.
Can I go first?
Yeah. What do you listen to when you drive home?
Okay, football season. I listen to ESPN or CBS Sports Radio because I want to hear what happened in some of those games early in that day. Because
that you couldn't see.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Even though I get notifications on my phone for like scores for like my teams, I still like to hear what happened in those games, like listening to that's why I usually listen to whenever I'm on my way home from a gig at Sports Center. I knowing that I'm gonna go home and watch it.
Right.
I
you still gotta consume it.
So it's kind of like digressing from the music that I play, the whole night, the whole evening,
I do not listen to music.
Yeah.
I definitely do not. Most of the time it's like a podcast.
Yeah.
I'll probably throw on if it's the fall, I usually really try to not pay attention to who wins, even though we live in freaking Fayetteville and everybody, like if the Hogs win, you're celebrating at the wedding. Like,
SEC country.
Yeah. But I'm a big DJ Spider fan, so I'll listen to the 20 with him, the Beat Source one, or just some sort of podcast probably. What about you?
So I do listen to music sometimes, but I go more
You
kind
gotta
of
usually have a long drive.
yeah.
Like you live,
It's like an hour,
Yeah.
typically.
no matter what.
Wow.
I like kind of movie soundtracks,
Okay.
like the instrumentals, and like Hans Zimmer is a
Uh-huh.
big composer that I listen to. And I was searching his music, and this playlist popped up on Spotify called Coding Mode,
Okay.
which is like computer coding, and it's just super chill, like electronic beats, and that's kind of what I groove to.
Dude, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But some of it's weird, but it's very chill, like mellow. And I'll listen to podcasts too, just
Yeah.
like some voice in the background.
Y'all know what band? We're going all kinds of topics today, but you know what band that I wish would do more live performance, and they produce a lot of soundtrack stuff. Is Explosions in the Sky? Have you ever heard of
Really?
these guys?
I've heard of them.
So they did
I
all
heard
the
of 'em.
soundtrack, all the music for Friday Night Lights, the TV show,
Oh, cool.
and all that guitar work and stuff. But you listen to it, and I've seen them perform live. Dude, they're so good, and it's incredible. But now all they do is they get paid so much money to do this soundtrack stuff that they don't play out live anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's lame.
What's a band you as a DJ, like what's a band that you either have seen live that you just like totally dig or you want to see live?
Ooh, man. Well, one of my favorite R&B bands growing up was Mint Condition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, when they, there was one of those few groups that, they would play all their stuff live. They don't use their, the what they call it, the sound track.
Yeah, just like
the
tracks, backing tracks.
Yeah, the backing tracks. And I mean, they like straight up musicians. I mean, they from Minneapolis, you know what I'm saying, home with Prince.
Yeah.
And, all the funk up there, man. And I always wanted to see them live, perform live. That's the only band I can think of at the moment. I mean, it's tons of people I want to see live, but they the one that stick out the most, man, because that was like during my junior high school
Yeah,
years when
you're
I was
reliving
listening
your
to
days.
them. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Mint Condition.
Yeah, they dope, man. Stokely, what's happening, man? What's happening, man?
Y'all need to come play the amp.
And they not together right now.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But shout out to Minneapolis, man, because
Those guys are
woo, man, just think about all the stuff Prince put out back in the day, and I grew up listening to all that. My uncles, my pops had his albums, and the time. I mean, they was big fans of the time,
Oh, yeah.
also. All the towns, man, with so much music history, I love so much. Minneapolis, man, I was so blown away with that, with that whole town, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Rev, favorite band?
For sure, Linkin Park.
Okay, yeah.
I wish
Aren't they
I
come
could
out-
have
They're
seen-
like they came out with a new song, didn't they? I feel like
Maybe. I mean, the lead singer died. He committed suicide
Right.
a while
Yeah,
back,
Justin.
but I think they got someone else now. I don't know. I haven't heard
I
any
think I
recent
saw it on
music.
Spotify.
And then this is going to be the most white person answer ever. But Creed.
Oh,
if you
dude.
could see them.
They coming here.
Are
They're
they?
coming.
Yeah,
That's right.
they coming here this summer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
They're
okay.
back, dude. They're back. Full the OGs too.
That's
And-
awesome.
and,
What's his name? Scott
Scott
Stapp?
Stapp.
Yep.
Yeah.
I seen Linkin Park in Memphis back in 02, I think, beginning of 02. They came to the Mid-South Coliseum. So it was Linkin Park, Cypress Hill.
Wow.
DJ Z Trip was
yeah.
was performing in between the bands and stuff, man. And that was my first time seeing him live.
Yeah.
That dude was crazy, man.
Z-Trip's dope.
Yeah, I remember he played Chop Suey by System Up and Down.
Yeah.
That whole place went crazy,
Yeah.
man. So that was one of my favorite concerts ever.
Did Linkin Park have their DJ too, Mr. Han? Was he on stage?
Yep.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man, that was an awesome concert. I never been to a rock concert before, and for them, I mean, I was I was a Linkin Park fan. I was a huge fan of that Hybrid Theory album.
Yeah, that
You know
album
what I'm
was
saying?
good.
So it was that. Yeah, that whole experience, man. Rock and rap, hip hop,
Yeah.
and all in one.
Oh, it was so good, dude. I could see why both of you guys would like that band.
Yeah.
Oh, they were great though. They're so great.
I was never a big band person. I was more in the DJ world.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked that question, because me personally, being a guitar player, like
Yeah.
that's all. Like, I mean, bands is all I relate.
You know what's
to.
weird about bands, and I've noticed this working at Tin Roof, is they have live bands, downstairs. And I think maybe this is me personally, but I've gotten so accustomed to like this perfect studio quality recording and sound. Like when you hear a live singer, it's like, oh, you can tell it's live, and some people really like that. And I don't know, it throws me off to hear like little imperfections. I'm more of a perfectionist.
Yeah. Do you think, like, just speaking in general, like, do you think live music is gonna make its resurgence? I feel like it just is died, y'all. Like, if
It
it's not a
has.
stadium tour of somebody that's just enormous, man, where do you even see live music, man?
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why most old bands and artists, they still perform, because they know that people still love that, that kind of live performance with them just playing their instruments, and they just have like classic tunes. Whereas nowadays you really can't pick out a tune that's a classic, like new stuff. You don't know if it's going to be something that you'll love in a few years or something like that. But I think that's one of the reasons why that some of the older bands and artists won't retire from touring, because they love it and they know we love it.
Yeah.
I think with new artists, they just about making money and not really have the true love for the music, like most artists and bands did back in the day.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on
I think music's in a weird stage, and I don't know, it's hard to tell where it's going, but you got to think back maybe in the 50s and 60s. The only way you could hear music was like a live performance. There was no really recordings. It wasn't widespread yet. And there was maybe like some radio stations or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the Beatles, for example, they were putting out music over in the UK that never even made it to America. Like people over here never heard it. And now everything's so accessible and quick and easy with Spotify and iTunes. And it's like, I don't know if it's oversaturated, but it's just, there's so much, and like each individual person can have their own taste just, dialed in, and everybody just has their own playlist. And I think people get spoiled, and that's why we're in this stage now where people come up to the DJ with their phone up saying, hey, play this, whatever, like, and it's like, why don't you just go listen to that in your car?
Hate is a strong word, but I hate it,
Yeah.
man. I hate it.
It's bad.
Just let me cook, because I know what good music is. Let me cook.
Yeah.
But oversaturation of music is what kind of is dying the whole thing down. It's so much music, man, to where it used to be fun to dig. It used to be fun to go to record stores and just look through vinyl and CDs, tapes, and all that stuff. Now you can still do it for old stuff, but for new stuff, trying to look for something new, it's a lot of songs every single day.
Yeah.
And
like you get it.
and like it's one of the it's not, I want to say it's hard work, but it's just exhausting, because you're trying to put together a mix show, an hour mix show. You don't want to play the same stuff over and over again, but at the same time, it's a lot. And how am I going to, put this on this mix or whatever? How I'm gonna be able to, just to break this record or whatever like that. You know, when it's just so much. It's kind of like it's pulling you. Everywhere.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
this music that's coming out every single day.
And like at weddings, there's always these classic big songs, Black Eyed Peas or Bee Gees or Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know of any music in recent at least 3 to 5 years that has reached that caliber of like a hit that's going to last into the future. So like if we're DJing weddings 10 years from now, like what are we going to play?
I don't know.
The same stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny that you say that because there's so much that people choose from, and everybody, like you talk to anybody on the street, anybody going up and down Dixon, it's like, what's your favorite song? Everybody would have a different answer.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're at a private event, just like what you said, most of the time people have these similarities because they're at an age where they do have that. Like, and that's a great question, man, that I don't know. Like, I really don't. Like
Man,
it's crazy.
do y'all okay, as a DJ, as DJs, you remember we used to get the music first
Right.
and not the consumers?
Right.
Yeah.
Like they come up to me, some of the younger ones come up to me, do you have this and that? I was like, I never heard that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just crazy how they find out about certain artists and music songs before we do. It's crazy, man. YouTube got them people like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok, it's just, I mean, they're like, have you heard this song? I'm like, no. Like my daughter's like, have you heard this song, Daddy? Are you playing this at a wedding? I'm like, first of all, I would never play that song at a wedding. They're like, it's a banger. Like 30 million downloads day one. I'm like, what? This is terrible. You know what I mean? But TikTok makes it popular. And so it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, what we do moving forward. But, I don't know, man.
I don't have TikTok. I refuse. I don't want the Chinese spyware on my phone.
I'm telling you, man.
There's ways you can check out. I think BeatSource even has a playlist that they've curated that's TikTok trends.
Yeah,
and
it's like
just
viral.
Music, viral TikTok
it's
songs.
awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. We keep mentioning BeatSource. One of these days, they're gonna jump in. They're gonna be like, we're sponsoring your show, Ozark Mix Podcast. Come on, BeatSource, where are you at?
One can only hope. DJ Crooked, man.
Where are you at, dude?
Or we need DJ Spider as a guest.
We need
Exactly.
Spider. Let's have him on.
Yeah.
We need to introduce them to Northwest Arkansas.
I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We let's make it our mission in the next 2 months to be sponsored by BeatSource. We're saying it right now on the podcast. BeatSource, where you at? We love you so much.
Hey, y'all out there. Hey,
Come on.
three things. Walmart, Tyson Foods, JB Hunt.
That's it. That's all you need for Northwest Arkansas. All right, fellas. We probably ought to get out of here. Rev's got
It's
something
been
going
a
on.
blast, man. It's been a blast.
Rod, we're so glad you're alive, dude.
Yep.
Rev, I'm so glad you're alive still.
Me too.
And you didn't fall out of the booth and die.
Man, yeah.
That could happen, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, let's just keep getting better together, y'all.
For sure.
I appreciate
Let's keep getting better, y'all.